Alright, so let's back up and start here. What I'm working with right now is one of these Marx Toys Lunar Exploration miniature play sets. I have one with a 1970 date on it, so I'm pretty sure this one's from 1970 as well. Comes in a window box, nice thing. Printed, I guess die cut, folding cardboard diorama setup. This one underwent some owner applied restorative work, which, you know, for better or for worse, it's still in good shape. Although over time, the original Marx factory tie on the space tank gave way. The crater forms and rocks are fascinating to me. I believe the crater forms were new for these sets, but I've seen the rocks in other play sets. The little kid in me wants those off of there. I want my astronauts. I was always the knucklehead who plucked their astronauts out of their toys. They're tied down, but with black sewing thread that is not correct for the Marx factory. It doesn't look like it was played with by kids. It looked like it was owned by a collector who kept it together, but at one point the pieces came loose, and amongst other things, the prior owner tried to glue down the craters. I just noticed that the loop here on this one had become a little bit loose. And there he is, out of it. Figure downsized from an Operation Moonbase figure. This crater is also somewhat loose. His loop goes between his feet, and I believe that second foot is connected to the base. And you can see there also he'd had some adhesive on him in addition to the tie down. The gluing in place happened when people were restoring these to sell after finding them all loose inside of there. So you can sort of see on this rock here, the pieces were all, other than the tank, were all adhered back to the surface and would not have shipped from the Marx factory with adhesive. It just would have been tied down, because once you glue the thing to the surface, you're going to mar the inking. When removing the astronauts and the rocks, which is what Marx and his designers intended when they were conceiving the things. These are children's toys that are meant to be played with. It's only since they become collector's items that people started doing things like gluing them to the surface so that you can't take the figures off without ripping it. You know, for better or worse, somebody glued the stuff down and they stapled a piece of cardboard to the base, and it may have helped it stay together long enough to come into my hands. Because the diorama part of it has had such extensive modifications, I can use it as a way to learn how the folding diorama itself was constructed by opening it up and figuring out how to maybe make my own, just from materials I've got sitting around the house. But first, I want my astronauts and rocks to heck off of there. So sure enough, it's a Marx Toys logo on the underside. Hard to see, but they got logo marks on the bases of them. We'll use this occasion as an opportunity to break into this Sunpack Creator V-Logging Kit with Boya Lavier microphone set that my dad got me for Christmas. Although I'm only going to use the tripod for now. Alright. Now remember, that black thread means it was just tied down by some knucklehead. Didn't ship from the factory like that. Take a look at the astronaut's base, and sure enough, there's a Lewis Marx logo, and it very clearly says Made in Taiwan. And we're just going to go for broke here. Yeah, this thing's incredible. Worth the wait. I believe it's unique to this set, and it feels more like a resin casting than some sort of hot molded plastic. No logo brand, but there may be some interesting marks on there to look at in the future channel update of excitement. So now this one just slipped loose, and you can see there how it had been very cruelly glued to the surface. The other craters in the rocks are still too well adhered to the printed surface. I'm considering other methods of freeing them and may in the end just slice them off. I want my rocks! As long as we're here, let's take a look at how the diorama stage is constructed. This piece of cardboard here was added by the owner who tried to effect repairs or shore it up or whatever, and retied the figures with the black sewing thread. I'd like to try to release the staples and unfold it and see exactly how it was done, although I'm pretty sure you need some sort of a die cutting press to get the forms the way that they are all nicely here in this pop-up manner, and it might simply be a way of learning how to do it one at a time, huh? Nothing wrong with that. So that's pretty cool. Craters, hand-painted craters, 3 more hand-painted 30mm Marx toys, astronauts with their logo markings, and we've opened up our Marx toys miniature lunar exploration window boxed playset with 4 rock formations yet to go.
Miles and miles and miles.